Dottie from My 600-Pound Life, Season 4, Episode 6 that premiered in 2016. She's 34 years old. She is married. She has one son that has cerebral palsy that is 12 years old and another one that is 1 year old. Her eldest son is completely reliant on her for everything, changing, bathing, feeding, absolutely everything, and her husband does have a job, so unfortunately he's not able to help a lot. And despite Dottie's size, she's able to do everything for herself. She won't let anybody help her bathe, wipe, anything like that. She cooks, she cleans, she drives, she does everything. She does have a sister who is in the pageant circuit, so she says her mom wasn't around very much, and her not being around a lot led her to eat more. She also said that she was in the Girl Scouts, and they would often have a lot of Girl Scout cookies in their house, and she would easily eat a box a day. And by 18 years old, she was 300 pounds. When she had her first son, she was 350 pounds, and she spent more than a year in the hospital being with him and was there every single day, and there was really nothing to do other than tend to him and eat. The father did not stick around, and when he was discharged from the hospital a year later, she was over 500 pounds. She then met her husband, Chris, and she had their son, and at that time she was 554 pounds. Month 1, they make the drive to Houston. She is 641 pounds, and Dr. Now says you've got to be eating over 30,000 calories a day. And he sets her the goal to lose 40 pounds in the next 2 months. In month 2, she says she's sticking to the diet, but she doesn't agree with the portion sizes. However, we still see her eating chips and soda, etc. In month 3, she goes to Dr. Now. She's 635 pounds, which means she's only lost 6 pounds. And she says she's doing everything. She's only having eggs and salad. And Dr. Now's like, there ain't no way. Dr. Now says, I would like you to be admitted to the hospital so we can put you on a controlled diet. But instead of doing that, she has to go home to be with her son. And unfortunately, he is not doing well. He is checked in the hospital and he is there for the next several weeks. In month 5, her son has come home, but her sister comes over to see everybody and she voices her concerns about her weight, about the food that she is feeding her children, and that how she is just not serious about the program. Month 7, she is 669 pounds. Which means that she has gained 34 pounds, and she is admitted to the hospital and put on a controlled diet. In month 8, she says that she is slowly adjusting to the portions, getting used to the diet, and she ends up at 597 pounds, which is a 72-pound weight loss. And he says that I will approve you for surgery, but you gotta keep losing weight. Month 9, it is surgery day. She has the gastric sleeve because they can't do a full bypass because of her size. And on surgery day, she has lost an additional 17 pounds since she was in the hospital the last time. Month 11, she is 564 pounds, which is a recent weight loss of 16 pounds, total of 105 pounds, and Dr. Now is concerned because she should be losing a lot more, considering she just had surgery. We finished this episode in month 12. She's 520 pounds. That is a total weight loss of 149 pounds, but Dr. Now is happy with her overall progress. It is year 1, month 1 of her journey. She does go to a personal trainer to start working on her fitness, but she says that at the end of the day, she's so tired from helping and taking care of everybody that her husband and her are still eating out and still ordering in food a lot. In month 2, very sadly, her eldest son at 13 years old does pass away. He was only expected to live around 5 years old, and the fact that he made it to 13 was really remarkable. The entire family, friends, everybody shows up for a wake and a memorial service, and her sister is just very concerned about Dottie that she will turn back to food and will use food to cope. In month 3, Dottie has made like a memorial table to her son and is using that to help cope with the loss. She says she's trying to stick as much as she can to the diet because the last thing that she promised her son was that she would get healthy. Her other son is now 2 years old. He is not very verbal, and so they take him to a speech therapist to see if they can work out what's going on. Month 5, she goes to see Dr. Now. She says that her back and her legs are just really hurting, and she's actually using a walker now. Dr. Now says that because you are starting to lose weight, your body portions and distributions and everything are changing, so the pain is different, but it will go away. She weighs in at 509 pounds, which is a weight loss of 11 pounds in the last 5 months, and that is a total of 133 pounds. She goes and sees a therapist, and they talk about her son and her weight loss and her childhood and everything. And the therapist recommends to have a journal and just to write down any thoughts or feelings that she's having to deal with. Month 6, she starts at aquatic therapy, which is really great because the water helps offset the weight, and so she doesn't have any pain. She can walk and move and extend her legs and do exercises, and she feels really great. Month 7, she is 504 pounds. That is a recent weight loss of 5 pounds, a total of 138 pounds. In month 9, she's still seeing a therapist, and the therapist says that she needs to gain her identity back because she has been a caregiver for so long that she needs to start doing things for herself, with her family, and things that are enjoyable for the whole family that they could do together. So they go to a little harvest festival. Month 10, she's 502 pounds, a recent weight loss of 2 pounds, 140 pounds total. Dr. Now says that he's really concerned that if she doesn't address this now, in a month or 2, she will start to gain weight. So month 11, she goes back to the hospital. She is doing another surgery and they are doing a revision. They are doing a full bypass this time. It is now year 2 of her journey. It has been nearly a year since her eldest son has passed, and she goes to the grave. She brings some flowers and little toys and stuff and just remembers him. She is 464 pounds. That is a weight loss of 47 pounds since her revision, a total of 187 pounds. And her family goes to this like bouncy house place and they're playing and everything. And she says that her youngest son is now starting to engage more and to talk more. It is now year 2, month 1 of her journey. She is 465 pounds. And that is a total weight loss of 160 pounds. She says that she's having a really tough time because food was the thing she ran to so that she could cope with her emotions and everything. And now that she doesn't have that, she is just having a really difficult time and really having to face everything. She says she has a lot of excess skin and it's really starting to hurt her. She's hoping that Dr. Now will approve her for skin removal surgery. She says that she's really sticking to the 1,200 calorie diet and that she is seeing her personal trainer 3 times a week. It is now month 2 of year 2. She is 438 pounds. That is a recent weight loss of 27 pounds, 204 in total. Dr. Now says in the next 3 months, I need you to get under 350 pounds so that we can do your skin removal surgery. And he's a little concerned that she's losing so little, considering that she has had 2 different weight loss surgeries. It is month 3, and she says that her youngest son is starting to communicate more and the therapies that he's going to is working. And she is continuing to go to therapy herself. In month 4, she is 386 pounds. That is a recent weight loss of 52 pounds, total of 256. Dr. Now says it will take about 4 surgeries to remove all of the excess skin around the front of her waist and the back of her waist on her back. He says they can't do it all at once because there is just too much and that is just too long under anesthesia. There are too many blood vessels, etc. So they need to do it in parts. So the first one is scheduled for a few weeks from now. It's month 5. It's surgery day. They take off some of the skin around her stomach. And it is 45 inches long and 18 inches tall and weighs 30 pounds. And Dr. Now says that she will need to stay in Houston for about 2 weeks to recover. It's a few weeks later. She is in a hotel. She is recovering, but her husband has to go back home because he needs to work and he needs to care for their son. And so she is all alone in the hotel and it's not going well. We see her a few weeks later. Some of her incisions have opened. They're not healing well. She has infections. There's just a lot going on. So she's sent back to the hospital. Dr. Now confronts her and says, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of your wounds. You set yourself back really far. And why are you smoking? You know you cannot be smoking. In 2 weeks, she has managed to gain 15 pounds. And Dr. Now just lectures her about the weight, about the smoking, everything like that, about keeping her sutures and herself clean. And he says, instead of like a 2-week recovery, you're probably going to be here 2 months. We are in year 2, month 7 of her journey. She is 371 pounds, and that is a total weight loss of 271 pounds. She has moved to a rehab facility and she is making good progress there. Dr. Now said that she should be able to go home in just a few weeks, but she's saying that it's unfair that she's here and that she should be able to go home. And she thinks that rehab is BS and she tells the cameras to leave and then she pulls like the covers over her head. It's month 8. She's been in the hospital/rehab for about 3 months. She's again not getting up every day like she's supposed to. She's not following the diet. And she's now managed to gain another 40 pounds in 2 weeks. And in this place she's in, they don't have the same type of regimented, like controlled diet like they do in the hospital. So she's able to order food in whenever. And one of the nurses snitches on her and she writes like this whole list of all the things she's been doing and she gives it to Dr. Now. She says she doesn't feel supported at home. Her husband is ordering and eating all the things that he's not supposed to. Dr. Now's like, what does that have to do with here though? And so Lola comes in and sees her and they talk about things and basically that she needs to find a way to kind of mitigate the stress and to stop herself from spiraling. Month 9, she's finally approved to go home. She is 298 pounds, which is a recent weight loss of 70 pounds in 1 month while she's been in the rehab. And that is a total of 343 pounds. She says she's going to continue with the therapy with Lola. She gets on a plane, she flies home, and because she's been away from her son for so long, he doesn't want to interact with her, doesn't want to hug her. In month 10, she said that it took several weeks for her son basically to get close to her again. And she says that she cannot leave her family for that long again. She has a lot of excess skin on her arms, everywhere else, so she knows that she's losing weight, but her husband has now started to drink and is causing a lot of problems between them. Month 11, she is 324 pounds. She has gained 26 pounds. That makes her total weight loss 318 pounds. Dr. Now again just lays it out for her and says, how are you not losing weight? You have had 2 weight loss surgeries and a skin removal surgery. What is going on? And she's like, well, I just guess I like to eat. And he says, everybody likes to eat. He says you need to continue the calls with the therapist, Lola, and you need to be losing 20 pounds per month. It is year 3 of her journey. Things with her husband are continuing to not go great. He is continuing to drink. She's now back to smoking. They're arguing a lot. And she says that for the sake of her son, she thinks she may need to leave her husband. We leave off in year 3, month 1. She decides that she is going to leave her husband for a while. So she packs up her and her son. They go to a hotel, but she calls up Dr. Now and says, I can't do your program. Here's everything going on. And he's like, basically, you need to do this for your son. You're going to get to a point where you won't be able to walk. You're going to gain all the weight back. And now you're the sole provider, basically. And so you're doing this for your son. You need to continue with the weight loss. But she basically says that that's not something she can focus on. She doesn't have time for that right now, and that she's going to be quitting the program. So what has she been up to since she was on the show? Her last season premiered in 2020, which means it was filmed probably in 2019. So it's been several years since she was on the show. Dottie sadly did end up passing away at the age of 44 in Oxford, Mississippi on June 14th, 2025, after a long and courageous battle with an illness. Her son is now 10 years old and he is doing great. He's in the 3rd grade, it looks like. Her husband does have some more recent posts, even as recent as the last month or so. From the couple of photos that I found of her son on her husband's page, it seems like they're still doing pretty good. They were out like dirt biking in one of the pictures. I hope the family is doing okay, and my heart just goes out to those who loved her.